Shri Mahendra Singhi ji, Dr. B.N. Mahapatra, Dr. Chaturvedi, all the distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Let me first say that before I joined DPIIT, one organization, rather the only organization that I knew with the acronym NCB was Narcotics Control Bureau. So it has been quite a learning experience for me, particularly today. I have attended some of their board meetings as to what kind of seminal work that NCB is doing and the kind of platform it provides for bringing together the academicians, the researchers, the manufacturers of machinery, the manufacturers of cement. And perhaps this kind of an organization that brings a synthesis, that brings about what I would say the needs of research and the needs of its practical utility, blending it together, is something that really would take the industry forward, would take this product forward, and that I could see from the number of papers that have been presented and from the feedback that I have been listening to, that it has been such a great learning experience. As somebody said, it is a kumbh of the cement industry. So I think, yes, it really becomes like a kumbh because all elements of, cement industry are here, and the cross-pollination of ideas and the exchange of high degree of knowledge that you all share collectively is made this made this event such a great success. So I congratulate all of you for having organized this event so well. And I really congratulate all the participants for having not only gone through this for 4 days in a very intensive manner, but having enriched it so much. And I particularly congratulate all the award winners that in such a what I would say, competent set of people where you have had 193 papers and then you have won awards, you have stood out in that. So many congratulations for that. It has been told that we have had in this NCB seminar the largest number of participants, and also we have had delegates from different continents. We have from Europe, we have from Asia, and a whole lot of countries who have participated, who are leaders in their own right in either manufacturing of machinery or in the technology. I gather that these, as I could hear, that these deliberations have lasted for 4 days, and you have had 24 technical sessions, you have had 2 panel discussions and 3 keynote presentations. And all this has culminated into a lot of important recommendations. In fact, I was going through the website also to see some of those sessions and some of those programs that you have had. And it turns out that, these recommendations spans all aspects of cement manufacture, and that includes raw material resource management, climate change, circular economy, use of alternate fuels and raw materials, productivity enhancement, and process optimization, energy conservation, advances in plant machinery, plant engineering, environmental management, etc. It is very interesting, and I had a look around. I went and saw the exhibition, and it was very nice to see that so many of these machinery manufacturers showing their advanced state-of-the-art machineries are on display during this exhibition. And that gives me an understanding as to what is the value of this event. It not only helps people to enrich their knowledge, but they also get a chance to see what technologies are there for the users and for the vendors who are selling these technologies. So I was quite impressed with some of the latest products and innovations that are there, that are going on in this sector, including what I would say, the creative use of cement that has been, that I saw in this exhibition. So perhaps that is also a future, that cement doesn't have to be only the drab gray thing that you put in the building. it can also be put to many more attractive usage. And the theme now is to conserve natural resources, reduce carbon footprint, and this is a theme that runs across the world. And therefore, in this background, I find that there has been a focus on integrating use of supplementary raw materials, alternate fuels, waste heat recovery, and renewable energy and clinker substitution into the cement process, which will all go into this, what we are looking at, low carbon technology regime. It is really heartening to see that Indian industry is in the forefront. It's a leader in this sort of work. And they are already going ahead with a roadmap of low carbon technology, which I'm sure it will make it into a leader at the global level. Another thing that we have been discussing also in DPIIT, and as Singhi ji mentioned about, how do we use some of the waste materials, particularly plastics? And as he mentioned, how plastic is being used in a big way in cement industry. I was discussing with some of the members of the NCB, and they were telling me that how even the straw, which is a big polluting source for NCR, for the National Capital Region, or even they can be very productively used in the cement industry. So obviously, using the industrial waste is one theme, and that would really not only help make the industry perhaps more competitive, because maybe the raw materials that you purchase otherwise, fuel, this would be cheaper, but it would go a long way in increasing the low carbon footprint for the country. I note that cement industry has already initiated positive steps to use alternate sources of energy, and the papers that have been presented in the seminar, I believe, have given useful insight into this, on this subject. The another thing that is true for all industry, and that is true for cement industry also, is to how to improve its operational efficiency. And I note that there has been, there are latest dry process plants in our country which have shown energy efficiency levels which are comparable to the global levels. There are older plants which are operating at relatively higher energy consumption levels, but it is heartening again to see that they are also helping, they are also making an effort to bring down their energy consumption. In fact, that is both win-win for them, because that is how they will remain competitive, and at the same time that would also lead to an improvement in our carbon footprint reduction goal. The other thing that I note is that the industry has actively been participating in what is called PAT, Perform, Achieve and Trade, scheme initiated by Bureau of Energy Efficiency under National Mission for Enhanced Energy Efficiency. And it is heartening to note that cement plants, that majority of cement plants in India have achieved their targets in the PAT cycles. One thing that we need to be cognizant about is the fact that government has been putting a lot of emphasis as part of its aim to develop infrastructure on construction activities. We have national highway projects, we have Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, we have industrial corridors. DPIIT is involved in big way in development of industrial corridors, dedicated freight corridors, multimodal transport, etc. And all this requires cement. We have aim to become a $5 trillion economy, and we know how important the construction industry would play in this, achieving this goal. And at the back of that is the cement industry that would carry this goal forward. So we have a lot of prospects, a lot of future requirement of cement, and that is where all these deliberations, the research that, that is going on, I'm sure that would help in producing cement at a yet cheaper rate of a better quality. What Singhi Saab says, even with 28%, they are so competitive, and I hope that time would come when the revenue situation improves, that it will have a lower rate. It's not that it is a sin good or it is a demerit good. It's only that, as he says, it is one of the major contributors of revenue to the government of India. So one has to be careful how we do the tax treatment, given how it was treated prior to GST. Prior to GST also, the cumulative tax rate was slightly more than 28%. So another issue that has been a recurrent theme is that now the environmental standards are becoming more and more stringent, and there is a potential for achieving improvements by identifying and implementing appropriate technologies for lowering gaseous emissions. And I find that the quality of cement and building materials is meeting international standards and benchmarks, and it can compete in international market to boost the cement export. So that is the next level of growth that we are looking at. We increase our capacity, and that capacity goes to export, and we become one of the leaders in international as an exporter of cement for the world. We are, as I mentioned, cement industry by itself is a great source not only of energy conservation that with the research, but also the way that we are going about. I'm hoping that hazardous and non-hazardous wastes treatment would become entwined with the way that the cement industry works. It was also heartening to note that NCB is working on development of newer techniques, technologies, and materials, such as composite cements, high-volume fly ash cements, geopolymeric cements. It is identifying and investigating the alternate fuels and raw materials which can be gainfully utilized in cement manufacture, and that they are fully equipped with adequate expertise with world-class state-of-the-art testing and evaluation facilities to achieve greater sustainability in cement manufacture and for performance enhancement and cost reductions. I am confident that this partnership that is there between cement industry and NCB will grow in strength in times to come, so that they fulfill, collectively they fulfill the responsibility that they have towards the society and the nation, as well as the world at large. I could hear from the feedback that all of you have found it very enriching to be here. So that's really something very heartening, that you have chosen to come here, spend your time, and you have found that it has been worth its while. And not that many foreign delegates are here, but it is such a great opportunity for them to have witnessed a slice of Indian culture by not only participating in the cultural program, but perhaps going around a little bit of New Delhi, which is itself so rich in culture and so rich in diversity that India represents. It is a microcosm of that. And in fact, a thought that occurred to me, that I used to also organize some international training programs. And for the foreign delegates, we used to take one day off to take them to Taj Mahal and Agra. So I know that for all the delegates it may not be possible, but I don't know whether for foreign delegates there can be something can be done to organize or facilitate some visit to Taj Mahal, at least those who are interested in. So at the end, I would like to once again congratulate NCB, congratulate all of you for having concluded such a knowledge-intensive, and at the same time, from what I could hear, it was a very enjoyable 4 days spent by all of you, by learning from each other, interacting with each other. And I hope that this seminar that has been held, it will again reach higher and higher heights in times to come. Thank you very much.